All right. So our program this evening is called Planning for Retirement, and we have an expert with us. Elaine Parrot is with us. She got her bachelor's degree in business administration from Malone College, and she has been working at the Raymond James Financial Services for nearly a decade. She is a financial advisor. So whatever your situation in life is, you can contact Elaine if you have questions and need help getting things together, getting different ideas, because sometimes people try to advise us and they're not really a financial advisor. So it's nice to have someone in our community that is willing to share their expertise with us. And like I say, we'll be recording this. So if there's something you want to hear again, you can always get on the library website and find it again and listen to it again. All right. Okay, so Elaine, with no further ado, I want to turn the program over to you. You can share your screen and we'll be on our way.
Okay, thank you,
Elaine.
Cheryl. I appreciate it. Hi, Mike. Hi, Tom. I'm glad that you guys joined me. This will probably go pretty quick since there's just two of you. And I'm going to share my screen with you so we can go through some slides. I teamed up with Fidelity on this slide program so we can actually go through these slides. But what I would recommend to you guys is if you have, personal questions, I'm not a pushy person by any means. Every agency has a program now, like ours is called Goal Planning and Monitoring. And most of the successful people in retirement that come and see me are people who have reached out to me 10 years before they retire, 5 years before they retire, 3, and then a year before they retire. And they go through this program called Goal Planning and Monitoring. Some of the firms charge upwards of $3,000. We actually do it for free. And what this does is it allows us to put your personal information in, your debt, your checking account, your 401k, your pension, everything. And it's actually a nice program because not only does it, puts the hard numbers in there, it also touches on the touchy-feely type of your retirement. So, if you and your wife came in, her idea of retirement and your idea of retirement may be totally different. She may want to travel, you may want to stay home and read a book, and it takes into account all those situations. And then on a scale of 1 to 99, it actually tells you your success in retirement. So it is a nice program. So, keep that in mind. If you ever want to do it, you can reach out to me. My office is here on North Worcester Avenue, just 2 doors down from Softies. And I would be more than happy to do that for you and your spouse. Now I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we're going to start this program. It shouldn't take that long. And if you have any questions at the end of this, I am more than happy to answer these questions. So preparing for retirement, it's a bit of a scary subject, and it's probably best to get your concerns out there and realize that it's just a change in your life, and we can get through this together. I'm more than happy to help you get through this. So here's our agenda: explore the retirement landscape, identify some income sources, estimate expenses, and working with a financial advisor. So what's the state of retirement preparedness in America? It's only 83%, which I guess is a pretty good number. But that leaves us quite a few people who are not prepared for retirement. There's 46% of American households that are not prepared for retirement. What we need to focus on is 3 preparedness accelerators could result in a dramatic improvement. Increasing your savings. So when I say to you, you need to reach out 10 years before, 5 years before, what that does is that allows us to look at the weak spots in your preparation for retirement. So do we need to increase savings? Do we need to pay down debt? These are some of the things that we would discuss. Number 2, reviewing and adjusting asset allocations. In most cases, when I look over somebody's 401k or their retirement account, they're way too risky for heading into close to retirement. So, we can look over that and make sure that you're not taking on too much risk, or maybe you need to take on more risk because, if you're not even keeping up with the rate of inflation, maybe it's time to invest a little bit more aggressively. And then 3, delaying retirement. I have a lot of people who come to me and say, hey, I want to retire when I'm 55, or I want to retire right at 60, and they just haven't done enough to prepare for those dates. So it makes more sense to make sure that you're okay and delay your retirement just to make sure that you're okay. What a lot of people don't realize is, when you retire, you still have another 20 or 30 years that you got to make this money that you've already saved, make it work for you, because, you're not going to just retire at 55 or 60 or 65 and pass away. So, we need to take into consideration that. Also, what you need to take into consideration is, do you have longevity in your family? Maybe, you have longevity in your family and everybody in your family lives till their 90s. So we have to prepare for that as well. We are living longer in retirement. So I just kind of covered that a little bit. So, we need to take a look at that and adjust accordingly for your retirement. Retirement lifestyles have shifted over the years, traditional retiree versus a modern retiree. So, a lot of these modern retirees, divorce is the most expensive thing that somebody can go through. So, a lot of these people that I see have already been married, 1 or 2 or 3 times. They have 3 grown children, 4 grandchildren from their first marriage, 2 teenage sons from their second marriage. They still are going into into retirement with a mortgage, and facing college bills and things like that. So I would suggest that you make sure that you're debt free when you go into your retirement. Make sure that your mortgage is paid off, and any credit card debt. They also have aging parents that they're taking care of. So that's, a concern that we have to compensate for that as well. Then you have the traditional retiree. You have relatively uncomplicated, straightforward retiree, and they have the company pension, which hardly anybody has company pensions anymore. But if you reach out to a financial advisor, again 10 years prior to that, they can actually set up a program where you can create your own pension, and we can cover that with you, how you go about doing that. They're empty nesters. Their kids have moved away. Their kids are doing well on their own. They don't need the help of their parents. They don't have any mortgage. They don't have any college payments. They're just looking for a fun-filled retirement. So, that's what we want for everybody. The next thing is identify income sources. Take stock of your income sources. Use your sources of reliable income to help cover essential expenses. Reliable income sources would be your pension and your Social Security. Other income sources are mutual funds, bonds, real estate, life insurance, HSAs, and income from a part-time job. So, what I'm seeing with a lot of people who retire, they want to retire because they have such a stressful job, but then they end up taking a part-time job because they just can't make it in retirement, or they just want to do something that's kind of fun, and they just don't want to work as hard. So, these are ideas that we can cover. Social Security eligibility parameters for qualifying. The earliest normal Social Security eligibility age is 62. You must have 40 quarters of wages that were subjected to Social Security payroll taxes. Quarters do not need to be consecutive, and benefits are calculated based on the 35 highest years of earnings. The value of waiting, should you delay claiming your benefits? So a lot of people that I talk to, want to start their Social Security at age 62. And I highly suggest that they don't do that, that they wait until full retirement age, which could be 66, 67, somewhere around there. As you can see, you only get 75% of your benefits if you take it at 62. So my concern here is that if you take it at 62, again, I go back to that statement I made earlier, you have another 20 or 30 years until, 20 or 30 years in your retirement. So if you take your Social Security now, what that Social Security buys today is not going to buy as much in 20 or 30 years because of the rate of inflation. And if you've been paying attention to the last 12 months, we're basically almost in hyperinflation. So things have gotten extremely expensive very quickly. So keep that in mind. Again, if you wait till 70, then you end up getting 32% more than your full retirement age. The people that I would suggest that wait till the age of 70 to take their retirement, their Social Security, are people who have longevity in their family or may have a young spouse. And then I would suggest, and if you're the breadwinner, it may make sense to wait until you're 70 so your young spouse can benefit from you taking that. And again, these are things that we can sit down together and look over and make sure that this makes sense for you. Social Security and working whilst taking Social Securities has its drawbacks. So if you're under your full retirement age, you can only make $18,960 per year. If you make over that, for every $2 you make, you're going to have to withhold $1 of your Social Security because they just don't allow you to do that. If you are turning the year you're turning full retirement age, you can make $50,520. For every $3 over the limit, they withhold $1. And then if you wait until after your full retirement age, there are no income limits on that. Social Security benefit reductions, potential items to consider if you have earned pension. So the windfall elimination provision, that would be like if you individuals who earned a pension and did not pay into Social Security taxes. This would be, our teachers, our government employees, and then individuals who earned a pension and did not pay Social Security taxes are eligible to collect Social Security. So that would be your government pension offset. There's 3 opportunities to maximize Social Security benefits. You may be able to boost your Social Security benefits, and there's strategies for couples, survivor benefits, and ex-spouse benefits. So we can, if you fall into that category, we can actually go over that. Social Security is tightening up on these benefits. So there used to be a whole lot more, and they're slowly but surely, getting away from that. So if you need me to cover that, let me know, and we can do that one-on-one. Maximizing a couple's benefit strategy, how claiming age might affect total benefits. So you can see from this slide here, we have a couple, Joe, he's 65, or his full retirement age is 65. His life expectancy is 84. And then you have Erin, his wife, who her full retirement age is 66 and her life expectancy is 89. So, you know, as you can see, we can actually go through these, and you can see why waiting actually benefits you in the long run by waiting to collect your Social Security. There's, you know, a lot of concerns out there that Social Security is going to go away, and they claim that they have enough money till the age of 30, the year of 2034. So I don't think that Social Security will ever go away. It'll always be here in some shape or form. So I wouldn't really worry about it, but I also wouldn't count on it to totally fund your retirement. This is why you need to save, and you need to start saving early. The earlier you save, the better off you can make adjustments along the way. Social Security break-even age. So, you know, there's a lot of concern about that, you know, there's a lot of people that come in here and say, I'm never going to live long enough to take all the Social Security that I've paid into, so I'm going to start at age 62, you know, but they don't realize that, you know, what their parents or their ancestors went through, and the reason that they died younger is we actually have the medical community on our side to actually keep us alive longer. So, you know, again, we need to sit down and look at your personal situation and see if that makes sense to take it earlier. But I would, again, suggest that you wait to take it. Let's see here. So let's go back here. I wanted to come up with I wanted to cover this. If you are divorced, you can actually, and you're not remarried, you can actually go back on your ex-spouses. You can, you know, if you've been married 5 times, you can go back on all 5 of them and see if it makes sense to take if they've made more money than you, to take their Social Security benefits. So, you know, I know that there's a lot of people out there that benefit from this. Now, your ex-spouse will never know, and it doesn't affect their benefits by you doing this. So I don't know if that was a concern for anybody. Consider the unexpected. Unplanned retirement can alter your income goals and expenses. Chances are at some point you have dreamt of retiring early. Keep in mind that an unplanned retirement can alter your plans, so it's best to be ready for the unexpected. Of those ages 50 to 64 who retired within the last 3 years, 56% of them retired earlier than expected due to change in employment or medical concern. I know that this has been the case over the last 12 months. I've had quite a few people who were forced to retire because of COVID and had no plans of retirement. And as of now, the people that I spoke to still don't have employment. So, you know, we have had to make some adjustments to their portfolios to accommodate for that lost wages that they have experienced. So if, you know, that's the case with you, let me know and we can figure, you know, go over your options. The reality of retirement spending, where does the money go? So, you know, 22% of ages 55 to 64 and ages 65 to 74, ages 55 to 64, 22% goes towards housing. Ages 65 to 74, 32% goes towards housing. Healthcare, this is a very expensive thing for most people who retire before they're 65, because healthcare is so expensive. Ages 55 to 64 is 6%, and ages 65 to 74 is 11%. And then we have food and I have to move my screen out of the way here. Ages 55 to 64 spend 10% on food. Ages 65 to 74 spend 13% on food. Transportation, ages 55 to 64 spent 12%, on their transportation, and ages 65 to 74 spent 14% on transportation. Entertainment, ages 65 to 74 spent 4%, as well as 55 to 64. Sometimes I think the younger you are, the more you spend on entertainment, because I think we've gotten, prior to COVID, eating out was entertainment for most folks, because they could go to their local restaurants and run into friends and family that they hadn't seen in a while. So I know it tends to be an expensive, entertainment tends to be expensive in my family. Healthcare continues to be a concern. Paying for healthcare is the top financial concern across investors. 72% percentage of investors who are not doing well saving for healthcare costs in retirement. 5.4% projected annual growth in healthcare spending through 2028. So, this is only going to get worse. Understand healthcare costs. Top expenses, 43% are other medical expenses, include co-payments, co-insurance, and deductibles for doctors and hospital visits. 39% are generic brand drugs, specialty drugs, and 18% are Medicare Part B and Part D premiums, doctor's appointments, and hospital visits. So most people, or I shouldn't say most people, the average person spends $295,000 out-of-pocket healthcare expenses, estimated for a 65-year-old. I know I tend to lean on the healthcare side of doing naturopath, and that is just getting more and more expensive. So, we need to take into consideration that this is getting out of control, and we need to put some money aside to cover our health care in retirement. What is Medicare? Know your options. Part A is hospital insurance. Part B is medical insurance. Part C is Medicare Advantage plans. Part D is prescription drug coverage. And then you have Medigap, Medicare supplement insurance. Estimate your annual Medicare cost. A hypothetical example of Medicare costs. A couple age 65 with income less than $176,000. They pay zero out-of-pocket deductible and co-payments covered by Medigap Plan G. The average is $1,985 for a premium. Co-insurance covered by Medigap Plan G. Part D, $2,463.60 for a premium, and Medigap $1,786 for Medigap Plan G premium. The annual total is $6,234.60 per person, or $12,469.20 per couple for paying for Medicare. Medicare Part D, that's considered the donut hole. So, catastrophic coverage, $10,048 was the average in 2021. So if you had Medicare, it paid for most of that. So, this is why you need those programs. Coverage gap phase, you can see that, you know, a plan covered 5% of that. And enrollees had to pay 25% of that. And manufacturers had to pay 70% of that. Initial coverage phase, 25% of enrollees had to cover that. And the plan covered 75%. And deductible, you have to pay 100% of that. Medicare coverage gaps, why it's important to supplement out-of-pocket costs. Healthcare costs continue to rise, and the percentage of income needed to cover these expenses can be differentiate for many. More and more Americans today are looking for Medigap and Medicare supplement plans to help with these expenses. In 2019, the majority of 64 million people on Medicare are covered by traditional Medicare, but 1/3, 34%, are enrolled in Medicare Advantage plans. This has nearly doubled over the past decades. It is important to address the different Medicare supplement options when preparing for retirement, as there may only be a small window of eligibility based on your state or residence. Think about your healthcare plan options. Questions to consider: do you have coverage for dental, hearing, and vision services not covered by Medicare? Number 2, is it important for you to continue seeing your current physician? Number 3, have you estimated the total out-of-pocket cost for prescription drugs? Number 4, do you want flexibility to choose providers, particularly specialists? Number 5, do you have protection from catastrophic illnesses? Working with a financial representative can help. So whether it's me or somebody else, you know, most, I don't know really any of them that charge you to meet for an initial consultation. I know I don't. So, you know, just sitting down for an initial consultation, there is no fee, and you can get your questions answered. Households with financial representative relationships tend to be better prepared for retirement. 23% of American households have a relationship with a paid financial representative. As might you expect, households with financial representative relationships also have a higher retirement score, from 89 versus 81, based on Fidelity's most recent retirement savings assembly. So you can see that all income that goes up working with a financial planner. If you make less than 100%, it goes up for that to 87 from 80. And then over 100,000, if you make over 100,000, it goes up to 89% versus 83 with no financial representative. Create a plan. 3 important steps to consider: identify your income sources and estimated expenses. I can help you with that. Number 2, plan for both planned and unplanned retirement situations, providing you with confidence in your retirement decisions ahead. And number 3, create a customized retirement plan with your financial representative that works best for you. So that number 3, that's where that goal planning and monitoring would come into play. So we can set up a personalized retirement plan just for you. Medicare Part A hospital insurance. In-hospital stay in 2021, days 1 through 6, was $1,484 deductible. Days 61 through 90, $371 per day copayment. Days 91 through 150, $742 per lifetime reserve days. And days 150 plus, you're responsible for all costs. Or I'm sorry, all costs are paid by Part A. Medicare Part B medical insurance. In 2021, individuals can expect to pay $203 deductible, 20% co-insurance for doctor services and outpatient care. So your deductible is $203, and after that, you're responsible for 20% of your bill. Part C, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Advantage plans, HMOs, PPOs, private fee-for-service plans, Medicare services, Medicare specialist plans. Costs may increase if you use out-of-network doctors, address Part A and B expenses, and often others such as prescription drugs, hearing, dental, and vision. That's not covered under Medicare, but may be covered under Medicare Part C. Medicare Part D, prescription drug coverage. Higher income beneficiaries pay higher Medicare Part B and Part D premiums. So you can take a look at that. Medicare and working beyond age 65, what you need to know. Working at a company with less than 20 employees, enroll in Medicare Part A and B, as Medicare will now be your primary coverage and your employee-based coverage will be secondary. Working at a company with 20 or more employees, are you already collecting Social Security? You will automatically enroll in Medicare Part A and B upon reaching age 65, but have the option to opt out of Part B. You do not have to enroll in any parts of Medicare, and you can later enroll during your special enrollment period and not be subjected to late enrollment penalties, provided you have the credible health insurance. You have to enroll no matter what. I'm not collecting Social Security, and Medicare Part A is free. Should I go ahead and enroll in Part A? You can enroll in Part A, and Part A may pick up some hospital expenses not covered by your employee-based coverage. The con of doing that, once enrolled in Medicare Part A and B, you can no longer contribute to a HSA or Medicare. Is not considered high deductible insurance. So these are the resources where this information came from that you can take a picture or copy these down. And if you want more information, or you can contact me for more information. So that's about it. Do either one of you have any questions?
So gentlemen, if you have a question, you could put it either in the chat, or you could just unmute yourself and ask the question then if you want to. It's a lot of information, to sift through. Does somebody have a question?
You can always reach out to me if you don't feel comfortable asking the question on this, or sending me a message. You can reach out to me. I'm in the office 8 to 5 every day. My phone number is 330-343-2212, or you can stop by my office at 711 North Worcester Avenue in Dover. No, you should not trust. So we had a question, should I trust the 4% rule in retirement? No, you should not trust the 4% rule. The 4% rule was put into place, and what they said is you could virtually guarantee that you would never run out of money. They have now lowered that to 3%. So there's some things that we can put into place. You can do a single premium immediate annuity to cover that. Or another type of annuity to set up some pension plan. But I wouldn't count on that 4% rule. That's a little high these days.
I guess we have to take into account that this past year, 2020, has really kind of jumbled things around. Things that were true prior to the pandemic may not necessarily be true now.
That is correct. And we really actually had a really good, as far as investments go, we really had a great year in 2020 for investments. But, that's not always the case. We're always going to have our 2008s and our 2011s, where we're going to have, just catastrophic events. And so if you retire a year prior to a catastrophic event or that year, it really puts you in an awful position to play catch up. Any other questions?
You're right. It might be hard to ask personal questions, that people might have just because we're sharing information. But remember, Elaine has given her address. Remember, it's Raymond James Financial Services. You can look it up, find a number. And if all else fails, you can call the library and ask for me, and I will provide information to you about her office and her phone number. So that's another possibility. So remember, we did record this. Some of those slides went by pretty quickly, but if you if you are interested in going back and looking at it again and taking some time on some of the slides, that's perfectly understandable. And you can do that. Like I say, it'll probably on the website tomorrow at the library. Just go to www.doverlibrary.org/ go to the adult programs, and then you'll see a category there that says archived programs, digital archives. So that would help. Yes. Any other questions, gentlemen? Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. This was a pleasure to do this for the Dover Library, and I am open to helping anybody meet their successful retirement.
Yes, and thanks, gentlemen, for joining us tonight. Feel free to share this information with other people, of course, and thanks to Elaine Parrot for bringing her expertise to our Zoom session, because I do think it is comforting to know that there are people in our community who do have a better grip. In my house, we never talked about it really. We just saved, and it all turned out well. But I would say that my siblings, well, I shouldn't talk for them. I'll say that for me, I wish I were more financially literate than I am, because that would, I'm just counting on things working out. And I have now consulted people. So, but it is always nice to know that when you're in a position where you want to reach out, right here in our community, we have people that can help us. So thank you so much, Elaine, for joining us and bringing your knowledge tonight and sharing that with us. And gentlemen, best of luck when you get to retirement, so that you can enjoy it as well. So thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you, Cheryl.
We'll see you at another program. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.